Hello, my name is Scott Rutledge, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，感谢您收看本期直击美股，我是陈周丽，在华尔街向您问好。今天是4月17日，星期一，今天是小长假之后的首个交易日。今日股市标普500整体收高0.7%，这也是自2周以来的最高涨幅。美国宣布将不把中国列入汇率操纵国。特朗普上涨很有可能会被地缘政治的紧张性所影响到。在个股方面，阿里巴巴旗下的蚂蚁金服宣布将对 MoneyGram International 收购价格调至12亿美元。在原油价格方面，原油价格今日下跌。本周投资者关注的焦点还包括公司财报。即将公布财报的公司包括高盛、美国银行以及 Netflix 等等。纵观全球，今日股市受到复活节的影响，欧洲市场以及亚洲市场大部分处于休市的状态。更多的详细资讯，请关注今天的交易员访谈。Hi Scott, the U.S. stocks rebounded from a weekly slide. What are your expectations?
Well, it all depends on your time frame and how you look at it. You know, we had a weekly slide because everyone was really nervous that something could escalate in North Korea.
Yep.
So we closed on our lows Thursday. Didn't happen. So we opened flat and then we reflexed back up. So if you look here at the chart of the S&P cash, you will see that not a whole lot has changed. Okay, we're still trapped in this descending trend line, and we're still holding above the March lows. So all in all, very choppy, in correcting, but look how far we came from. So when you're above the 21 day, you try and have a little bit more risk on. When you're starting to get below it, you be a little bit more careful. But at this point, you know what? We'll see what happens here. Can we reclaim this 2350 and break out above this, or a little bit more sideways before more downside? I'd say at this point, today at least makes it more neutral to positive.
Investors are worried about the North Korea tensions, and so could you please introduce us a way to build our portfolios to balance the risks?
Oh, kind of like what I mentioned before, when you're above the 21 day, means the market's strong. It means you try and be in a portfolio approach. When you break below it, okay, it's telling you the market's a little bit weaker, so you have less risk on. So, when by using that, you drown out the noise, to be honest, of the media. Okay, the market will pay attention to things when they want to. So again, if you go back one more time to the chart of the S&P cash, okay, look at the size of the trend we had since reclaiming the 21-day moving average. Went all the way up actually first time to here. So this first break here was okay, let me reduce a little risk. And then here, okay, let me stay a little bit reduced risk because now it's starting to roll down, different. If we were to break back above it, maybe you get involved in more stocks. But really the truth is you have to know your time frame. Are you a long-term investor, an intermediate investor, or an active trader?
Financials are leading the gains today. What are your expectations of this sector?
Oh, they're still in a corrective phase. They lost momentum, but they haven't fallen apart. I think the banks were up almost 27% on average and pulled back 10, so that could be healthy. So I didn't love the way JP Morgan reacted to positive earnings, but we were also in a more negative market environment. So if you just look at the XLF, I think you should be kind of neutral, maybe neutral positive. This is your line in the sand. As long as the XLF holds above this spot, you could try and be long. That means you're buying a dip. If you were playing for momentum, this is the spot you had to sell. So at this point, small bounce, and now we'll see, kind of reclaim these moving averages at some point and start getting back in action or not. This is your major support. Some think there's a small head and shoulders pattern building here, which it could be, and the longer it stays below this spot, the more vulnerable it could be. But here is that level has to break before the bears start growling.
Corporations are releasing their earnings today, and which companies are you paying attention to?
Well, I'm going to see how Netflix reacts. It's down a little bit after hours. The reason being is because I like to trade high beta tech names, so you want to see how they respond. Netflix has been in this channel for quite some time, right? Here is your big gap up from the last quarter. Before I looked, it was down $2, $3, so maybe it wasn't enough to break out, but not also a little too little to break below. So at this point, it's still in the range. I kind of love this BABA chart, to be honest. BABA closed at the top end of the range. It's been above the 8 and 21-day moving average this whole time, while I just showed you the banks below the 50. So that's relative strength. I think at some point we could see back to the old highs here of, where is that, closer to 120. So at this point, technically, I love the way BABA is acting. It's a little choppy, but It just broke above this peak, so as long as it holds above this 110, I think actively you could hold it back to 120. So tomorrow we'll see how does Netflix react after the print, and what does it do to your Amazon, your Google, your maybe Chinese internets, etc.
Thank you so much. I think that's all for today.
Okay, and we'll have more each day tomorrow as we go through earnings season. Tomorrow you have Bank of America in the morning with Goldman, so we'll see if the banks react better to give us the tone for the day, and we'll see how high beta tech reacts based on the action around Netflix, if Netflix is confined, or if it affects some of the momentum elsewhere.
是的，正如 Scott 所说，最近是财报季，我们直击美股也将会为您持续关注这些公司的动向。非常感谢您收看本期的直击美股，我是陈真理，我们下期节目再见。